I am doing a Medusa theme in my guest bathroom this year. Tell me, which one of these do you like better? I actually purchased the one on the right, and I'm thinking the one on the left might work a little bit better. I don't like that one on the right kind of looks to the side. It makes it a little hard to display on the tiny little shelf I have, and I like that the one has the light up eyes because that is just what you don't want to see from Medusa, her bright, scary eyes. But anyway, we are at TJ Maxx today. We have recently toured the Marshall store and seen very similar things. And in fact, we know that the home goods store is also going to have many of these things. The home goods store is actually where I found that Medusa, the gray one, off to the side. I've been trying to do my video walkthrough of the home goods store, which has so much more merchandise than this, but my time is always so limited. I didn't have time to really film all of the merchandise, but we will be making a trip back there very soon. So if you want to see that, make sure you are subscribed. Of course, we will be touring as many stores as possible before the holiday, and it's just unfortunate that we've seen so many of them close within the last year. I know Joann Fabrics is no more. That's unfortunate. They always had some very interesting merchandise. The And That store, which I believe was the Christmas tree shop, has also gone away. I don't know if that's nationwide or just by me, but they had some fun stuff as well. And then I saw Five Below, which was usually in the same complex here where this store is with the TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods, is also gone. But hopefully we'll find that these stores are making it up to us. I really liked that pumpkin there, and I was so tempted to get this. It is a snake. You know, it's one of those, I don't know what you call them, those little globes on the top that have the little electric arcs inside of it, and you put your hand on it and it goes to it. I wish it had a try me button, but I'm trying to do, Medusa in my bathroom, so I'm looking for snakes and skulls to go along with it. And I thought that would have been perfect. Well, almost perfect. It might have just been a little too much, which is why I didn't get it. And it had like the spell books, which is a little bit more witchy than Medusa. So I was so tempted by that. They have a lot of neat stuff here. I'm not sure I would call the bathtub decor up my alley, but I really liked this skull, how it wraps around that whole succulent planter. Oh, I was so tempted to get that as well. I'm just not sure where I would use it. I am trying to keep myself limited to the themes that I've got going on this year. If you've been following along with my videos, you'll know that inside I am doing a vampire theme. So I'm looking for anything that has to do with bats, really. This is going to go in my kitchen dining room area. And that's really where the food and drinks are going to be for my Halloween party. So, I think dishes, things like serving platters with bats on it, things like that, which I think I would normally find quite a bit of here. In fact, what are these? These look like some sort of bat something or other. Oh, it's just a boo sign. Anyway, I think past years have had more of the merchandise I'm looking for. Vintage sort of radio. I was tempted to do a vintage theme as well. Maybe I'll get around to doing that one year. I just don't have a whole lot of vintage merchandise already, and I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel completely and have to buy all new decor. I like to reuse what I can, just not in the same way as the past. That clock has the same sounds coming out of it, even though it looked a little bit different. I think we've seen this sort of snail with the skull on the back of it in the skeleton form in various stores. So I don't think I've seen it in the ceramics, so that's an interesting choice there. I think they're taking their cues, of course, from other stores on what they see is selling there, I suppose. Or they just, I'm not sure, maybe don't like to be so original, because I just saw somebody on Instagram today pointing out how TJ Maxx stole their design, or their artwork anyway, and featured it on a project, although I'm sure they just bought the product and didn't really do it themselves. Can we all agree that the sound on that thing is just horrendous? Why would anybody want that in their home? I don't know. I know I tend to get off on all of these tangents, but to get back to my Halloween decorating, so as I was saying, I'm doing vampires and bats inside the kitchen. In my living room will be clowns. So again, I've done clowns in the past, but it was outside and in my garage, because on Halloween night we have a neighborhood party, and I do different themes outside as well, and part of it was clowns. It was a carnival, so I have some major props, some animatronics and whatnot, but I just don't have a lot of clown decor. And that's one thing that I think is really lacking in all of these stores. You just don't see a lot of circusy merchandise, which means we have to either buy it from like the costume shops where you can get clown costume pieces and make our own decor, or just completely DIY it. And even though I have some DIY videos here on the channel, it's really not my forte. Not a huge crafting person. I'm not that artistic. I like to take what I can find in the stores and really plus it and work on my decor that way. Nonetheless, if you haven't been diligently watching my almost 1,000 videos now on this channel, I do encourage you to go back and check out those DIYs because some of them are pretty good. There we have I like that, that's like the death with the dog. I know we've seen the ghosts with the dogs in a lot of different stores, but that's different. A little glass pumpkin there. That's one thing I actually bought from the home goods store, not that particular one, but I did find these beautiful dark green pumpkins with bats on them, and I was just so enamored with them that I'm really working the dark green color into my vampire decor this year. Quite the little animatronic there. For some reason, it kind of reminds me of the stuff that we would find at Big Lots, because they like these little sort of decor pieces with the animatronics on them. Haven't been to Big Lots yet this year. I think they tend to be a little bit late getting out their Halloween merchandise until after the summer season really is over, and it is wrapping up quickly. But back to my purchases from the home goods store. Aside from the pumpkins and my Medusa, I also got a skull with a crown on it because outside I'm doing dragons. Outside I've got a few different themes going on. Sorry if you are a loyal visitor to my channel, and I repeat myself a lot, but here we go. I'm doing multiple themes outside, starting with, of course, a graveyard. I'm bringing out my grave diggers. I haven't had them out in a couple of years because the animatronics I got from Home Depot, I believe they're both from Home Depot maybe, have stopped functioning properly. I know one has been out in the rain, and I know you're not supposed to leave these things out in the rain, but I do, and I've had some pretty good luck. But unfortunately, it does take a toll at some point. Like my pumpkin patch prowler from Spirit Halloween, I loved that prop. I got so many compliments on it. People always wanted to buy it, and it was so scary. It frightened the children, which of course makes me so happy. It finally died last year. It made me so sad. But that's why we should not really leave these animatronics in the rain. But anyway, my grave diggers will be outside, and I'll probably put them up a little early. It used to be in the past I wouldn't put my animatronics out until the day of Halloween because one, I didn't want to leave them out in the weather, but two, you don't want them to get ripped off. But in all of the years here in my neighborhood, I've never really had anything go missing. And it wouldn't be completely tragic if my grave diggers, who will be up by the edge of the road, go missing. I'm really not concerned about that so much as my tombstones. I do love my tombstones, especially the ones from Home Depot. I got the really good ones last year by waiting until right before Halloween, like a week or so. They all went on clearance, and there were a few that I wanted to buy, but they were, they can get pretty pricey, like $40 each. And I got them on clearance. I was so thrilled. I got every one that I wanted. And can I just take a moment to say I really love this plate with the ghosts. That is beautiful. But anyway, so I will be sad if any of my tombstones go missing because it's really hard. I've never figured out a good way to secure them, especially like those resin ones. So if you have any tips and tricks, let me know. But once you pass through the graveyard, you're going to hit my dragon zone, which is where I was talking about that skull with the crown that I bought. I have 2 dragons now, one of which I've already done a video on, so be sure to check that out if you like. The other one I'll probably have maybe this weekend or the next. I bought another dragon off Facebook Marketplace, and then I'm hopefully going to get the dragon that's coming out at Home Depot this year. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, be sure to check out my video, like I think 2 videos ago, when I attended the preview for the Home Depot merchandise, and I gave a little recap. I know a lot of people were wondering if that was AI or not. In fact, yes. Here I will admit it. In this video, it was completely AI. Well, the audio was completely AI. I put all the video clips together. And there we go. My secret is revealed. Look at this. So I love that mirror with the skeleton sticking out. He was drinking like a martini. It's only $50. I don't know why they have a security wrap around it. I mean, it's only $50. But back to my Halloween display. So cemetery, dragons, and then you're going to enter my Ghostbusters zone. I did Ghostbusters last year, and you know I hate to do anything 2 years in a row, but it's going to be in a different area of the yard. It's going to be my main party area, and I'm going to be featuring that 33-foot tall Stay Puft Marshmallow Man inflatable that I received from the HalloweenCostumes.com and did a video on a while back. That thing is amazing. Be sure to check out my video if you're interested. And I will point out, if you're going to buy anything from HalloweenCostumes.com, because they have a lot of neat merchandise out, use my discount code. It gives me a referral bonus and helps support this channel. I also get commissions on my Lowe's referrals. So if you're interested in buying anything from Lowe's, and we will be doing a Halloween walkthrough, but really any merchandise that you want to buy, if you want to give me a heads up, I'll send you a link and you can help support the channel that way too. But anyway, so we are going to see my New York-ish Ghostbusters area. That's going to lead into my back alley underworld speakeasy. And I'm going to be bringing back my Dean the Deathologist, Marie the Meddling Maid animatronics. I also got this year that card playing, I think it was called, oh gosh, I can't remember, something of spades. I think he's cigar smoking, booze drinking, card playing guy. Anyway, I'll be doing a review on him probably this weekend, and I think they're all going to work well in that theme. Also, in front of the garage, I've got a giant spider I did a video on a little while ago. I got a second giant spider I can't wait to show you, and I'll be doing a video on that pretty soon. And then over by the koi ponds, I'm going to be having the 7-foot megalodon. It's like this shark that is jumping out of the water with these gruesome, scary teeth. It's a Home Depot product, only for sale online, and I've already ordered it, pre-ordered it. It's not going to be delivered until sometime in September, but I cannot wait to see what that's going to look like by my ponds. And, you know, I do have multiple ponds, so that's going to be the one by the party area. The upper pond that you can see by the street will have my diver animatronic with the Kraken that I bought from Lowe's last year. Those guys were fantastic. But those are my themes. I know it's like 100 different themes, but you know me, I got to be a little extra when it comes to Halloween. Because not only do I have this Halloween channel I got to live up to, but the neighbors have come to expect it. I always do different things every year, so they always are excited to see what is going to be displayed. So there's a lot of pressure to live up to. And I do think it gets more and more challenging every year, especially because, again, I'm trying to figure out what haven't I done and how can I make it happen. Like my Medusa theme this year, you know, there's just not a whole lot of Medusa merchandise out there. That's why she's going in my guest bathroom. There's not a whole lot I've got to decorate, but I'm excited about the stuff that I do have. And of course, buying merchandise for all of these different themes every year costs a small fortune, which again is why, if you're interested in supporting the channel, be sure to use those links and help us earn just a little bit of commission. You can also help by liking the video so more people see it and I can get some ad revenue. Maybe one of these days, if enough people subscribe, I can hit that 100,000 subscriber mark and then maybe earn even a little bit more. I think in most years, I kind of break even between the revenue that I make on these videos and the, I'm embarrassed to say, thousands of dollars I spend on my displays each year. But I will admit I am very blessed to at least have a hobby that kind of pays for itself. And as I've alluded to, you know, I do change my displays inside and out every year. I, of course, do my walkthrough videos. So if you're new to our channel and you haven't seen those, be sure to look through. I think I've got playlists to help keep it easy. And you can check out all my different walkthroughs. I'm pretty proud of them. And, you know, I've been in this house now for 15 years, maybe. Wow, I can't believe it has been that long. And I really love the fact that I have these video records of my displays. I did start doing a display here, I think the very first year I moved in, and it was small and simple. and every year it just keeps growing and growing. But again, it's always been different, and I really love that. And that's why we do these store walkthroughs too, because of course I'm always on the search for the merchandise to go with my themes, and this really kind of helps me remember what is where in case I want to go back and get something that I've missed. Because I do kind of like to look at everything before I make commitments, but that's kind of bad. If you are interested in buying something in these stores, you probably want to get it while you can, because once it's gone, oftentimes it's going to be really hard to find. I need to take my own advice and go back to the home goods store and buy this really cool snake mirror that's going to go in my guest bathroom. So I better get on that, because I'm going to be very disappointed if it's gone when I go back. Before we go, I did want to say a special thank you to all the patrons who help support the channel. If you're interested in joining my Fright Club, be sure to check out a link to my Patreon page in the description below. And that is going to do it for this store walkthrough. Did you see anything that you want to buy? Be sure to leave me a comment below and let me know. I did end up leaving with the lighted eye Medusa, and I am probably going to return the other one that I purchased. Which means, of course, another store walkthrough coming soon. Till then, everyone, thanks for watching, take care, and happy haunting.